Darcy Jennings, founder and head trainer at Communic9 Training and Behavioral Counseling, where my sole purpose is to connect dogs and people. And this is part 3 in my video series on busting socialization myths. So in the first video, you learned about what to avoid when socializing your dog, what not to do, how to socialize a puppy, the most critical age to socialize a puppy, and why the majority of advice that you're going to hear about socializing doesn't apply to your dog. In the second video, you learned why dog parks aren't actually that important a place for you to take your dog, and also all about social development in dogs and what you can expect from your own dog as it gets older, going from puppy into adulthood, 3, 4, 5 years of age. In this video, I'm going to bust 2 myths because the answer to both is actually the same. So myth number 1 is that the best way to socialize a dog or puppy to something, whether it's something they're afraid of or whether it's just to give them some exposure to it, is to give them a lot of exposure. So just keep getting them around. Let's say they're afraid of people, just keep getting them around people and they'll get over it. They'll eventually get over it. That's myth number 1. Myth number 2 is the way to keep a dog social, or to make sure it maintains its social ability, is to get it around dogs and keep it around dogs. Keep getting it going to dog parks, or keep taking it to doggy daycare or social events with other dogs. Now, why these myths aren't true is this number 1 rule. If you remember nothing at all from any of my videos about socialization, please remember this. The number 1 rule in socializing your dog is that it's about quality, not quantity. Got it? So we have this idea that if some is good, then more is better. But the reality is, if the quality of the experiences they're having are poor or negative in the least, then that is actually what is being imprinted on your dog. So let's say that your dog doesn't like or is shy of people. So whether it's a puppy or an adult dog, doesn't matter whether your puppy or dog is afraid of people or shy of people, and you start taking them around people and asking people to feed your dog or to pet your dog or to do something with your dog. If every one of those, in every one of those interactions, your dog is going, oh my God, here comes that scary human and he's gonna touch me again. Or every time he gives me a cookie, then he invades my personal space and tries to pat my head. What's gonna happen is you're actually going to counter-socialize them. You're actually going to anti-socialize them. So you're gonna make them less comfortable. And in fact, I've seen on more occasions than I can count, you're going to create a problem. And in many cases, that problem turns into aggression. So rule number 1, the most important rule for socializing your dog or puppy, it does not matter what age they are. Whenever you're thinking about socializing your dog to something or exposing them to something, it's about the quality of the experience that they're having, not the quantity. So we would much rather them, let's say, only meet 3 people and have really good experiences where at the end of that interaction with each person, they actually are happy and wagging their tail and relaxed, versus 100 experiences where every single one they were tense and unsure and uncomfortable. Put yourself in your puppy situation, and like, for example, I'm an introvert. I've used this example in one of the previous videos. If you weren't particularly outgoing with your personality and somebody said, well, you have to go to a social event every single night to keep yourself social or to get yourself socialized, and you had to go and sit in a group of people that you didn't know, that you didn't want to talk to, how would you feel about that? That's not quality exposure. That's not going to build your confidence. That's basically throwing you under the bus. So think about how you can set up your social experiences for your puppies or your dogs so that they want to have more of them. That's the bottom line. All right, that's 2 more myths busted. So I'm going to leave you with a little homework exercise for this week. And all I want you to do is to go out with your dog and make sure that both of you are having a good time. That's it. That's really all that socialization is about, is learning how to have a good time wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing. If it ceases to be a good time for you or your dog at any point, remove yourselves from the situation. That's it. All right, so we want to make sure everybody leaves with a wagging tail and a smile on their face. So have a fabulous week, and thanks so much for tuning in. See you next week.